before we get going with our program, I'd like to invite Rabbi Avi up here for a minute. Okay, hold on.
Okay, good evening. So everybody by now obviously is well aware that the Jewish people have definitely experienced a very rough weekend. Thursday night's occurrences in Israel, in Meron in particular. It's just a heavy heart. At the same time, we're here celebrating a tremendous evening, tremendous accomplishments. However, one of the founding principles of the Jewish people is to be nosei ba'ol im chavero. And that means to shoulder the burden of your fellow Jew. So, although we're going to have, Bezrat Hashem, a beautiful evening, we need to begin with the parak of Tehillim in honor, as a zchut, a merit for those who are, still critical, still ill. There's people who, unfortunately, you can just imagine the amount of emotional anguish. At the same time, in memory of the people who, unfortunately, are no longer with us, we can't just move on. It's just not how Am Yisrael works. So I'm going to ask for one moment everybody to please rise. We're going to say chapter Kuflam at 130, verse by verse, followed by Achenu Kol Beit Yisrael. Shir Hamalo Mimamakim Koraticho Adonai Adonai Shema B'Koli Tieno Zefa Kashuvo L'Kol Tachanunai Im Avonot Tishmarya Adonai Miyamod Ki Imcho Haslicha Liman Tivorei Kiviti Adonai Kivto Nafshi V'Lidbaro Cholti Nafshi L'Adonai Mishomrim L'Boker Shomrim L'Boker Yachel Yisrael El Adonai Ki Im Adonai HaChesed V'Harbei Mofidus V'hu Yifter Yisrael Mikol Avonotav Achenu Kol Beit Yisrael Anisunu Batzaru B'Shivya Ha'omdim Bein Bayam U'Bein Bayavasha Makom Yirachem Aleihem V'yotzi'em Mitzara L'Racham Yefeil Li'oro Mishibud L'Gula Hashtav Agalo V'Zman Korib V'Nomar Amen. You may be seated.
Okay, we're just going to take a deep breath. All right. Good evening, everyone. Everyone has their seats. Okay, great. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Sam and Allie's mom, also known as Sasha Fox. And this is my husband, Andrew. It is my great honor to welcome you, our honorees, and our first graduating class of WTA to the annual Shemay Torah. Let's make some noise! I must admit that I can hardly contain myself. It feels so good to be with all of you. Sorry, glasses. In person again. What a year it's been. I'm so incredibly grateful to the school, to Deganit, to the administration, to the board, to the teachers, and of course to the parent body. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Without your commitment, trust, and partnership, we would not be in this lovely tent together tonight celebrating WTA like this. So we have a packed program for you tonight, so I want to keep things moving along. But first, a few words from the other dinner co-chair, Mr. Andrew W. Fox.
What a rousing, amazing round of applause. So I'd like to welcome you all as well to the 8th annual WTA Dinner. And I'd like you all to rise, if you wouldn't mind, for your favorite nationalistic paean, the national anthem of the United States of America, please. Here comes the Hendrix. Good time for a hot take ball. So we have a soundtrack for hot take ball? What are we doing here? Never heard it before. He's gonna play. Oh, nice. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Yo-Yo Ma. I don't know, man. It's asking a lot. Cool. Not one of the baby chairs, though. Like a real chair. All right, excellent. I guarantee you, it's the only annual dinner in May of 2021 that features a cellist. Excellent. This is awesome. I doubled the size. I've been to a lot of annual dinners. Lot, but nothing like this. So what I want to say is, like, here we are, right? It's been a year and a half for many of us since 2019, since we've been to a dinner, and here we are all together. And it's the first annual dinner under the stars, the dinner in the parking lot, and we're plugging along, right? The school's doing great. Everything's perfect, and here we are supporting the school. So I want to say it's like an entrepreneurial dinner for an entrepreneurial school. We're not trying to be something we aren't. Here we are. We're not trying to be, with fantastic food, with rosé in a can, with togetherness. I have to be completely open with you in that I'm basically 3 in at this point. So the rosé in a can thing really is it's real for me. It's real, yeah. So here we are, in an excellent way. I have to say, I'm looking at you, and I'm thinking to myself, this is really fantastic. Right? I even recognize some of you. It's incredible. So I have to give a quick shout out to Ari White, #1 barbecue artist in the Jewish world. He is no haleya. And no speech at an annual dinner is complete without thanking your wife. You know, we've worked together in this closely, and while we're not really on speaking terms at this point, you know, I want to say that in this school has a volunteer that not only takes on an enormous amount, but also completes it. And so, I have to say that Sasha is a ridiculously good volunteer. And so, you know, I figured if I didn't say that, there'd be consequences later. So I just want to say, we're newcomers to WTA. We've been here for a couple, 3 years. We decided to send Allie here. Why? Sasha came and she met with Deganete, and she thought, wow, this is fantastic. Like the attention is amazing, and the program is amazing. And we know what we're talking about. We were at Beit Rabban in the city, and we loved it, and we were at SAR, and we love SAR, and we had an amazing run there. But, you know, Sam needed a reset. We moved Sam to SAR, and I have to say that they've had an unparalleled years here. Sam has learned, and I want you to hear this for those of you who haven't been to other schools, he's learned faster and qualitatively better from teachers like Maura Craig, or wherever he went, than ever before. He has had fantastic years here. And so it's about the excellence of the school for us. This school delivers an excellent education. It is superb. But what's amazing is it's also sustainable. The blended learning model and the dedication to affordability, I think the WTA has proven the sustainability model, along with the other guy. So what I want to say to you is that what you're getting here is an individualized attention that you literally cannot get anywhere else. I mean that. You should understand, literally cannot get anywhere else. It is a world-class education with Torah values. And so here we enjoy the best of all worlds. It's fantastic. So I'd like to close with a toast, which is where's my number 3. So if you could join me, I'd like to close with a toast. So I toast the founders of this wonderful institution, whoever you are that are here, I toast you. I toast the parents who paved the way in the early years. I toast you, you stuck it out. I toast the educators that so ably teach our children, even through the pandemic. They didn't lose a step. It was amazing. I toast you. And I toast all of you here tonight who came to support the important and holy mission of the school. L'chaim. All right, you can all go home now.
I'd like to call up Rabbi Avi again.
Thank you. That's right. Good evening, everyone. So, as mentioned, it's absolutely unbelievable, Baruch Hashem, that we're here in person. I think being here in person deserves its own round of applause. Now, I can only imagine that within due time, we're going to have a thing called Zecher L'Zoom. Right? So because, you know, as Jews, we can't just move on. So here we are in person, and then there's going to be Zecher L'Zoom. So you'll be at, let's say, your Pesach Seder, and in the middle, you'll, like, literally at, like, the high point of your Dvar Torah, you'll have to freeze, because your frame freezes. Right? Or you'll lag at some point during the meal, right? There has to be something that's a Zecher L'Zoom, because we can't just move on, right? For me, my favorite Zoom blunder is when the one person who doesn't know how to use the mute and unmute also spends the whole time yelling at their spouse. That's always, that's a fan favorite for a Zoom shiur, I can tell you that much. Now tonight is very meaningful for me, as it is for many of you, but personally for me, it's really meaningful because we're actually celebrating in my daily parking spot. Now, I grew up in Brooklyn, where parking doesn't come easy. So to think that I found a spot that can host all these people is just truly heartwarming. So welcome to my parking spot, everyone. Some of you are a little too close to my car, but we'll deal with that afterwards. So tonight we are celebrating the 8th annual Under the Stars, right? And if you think about it, the number 8 in Judaism is an interesting number. It usually represents miracles. For example, Hanukkah, it's 8 days. For those of you who are familiar, Vayehi Bayom HaShmini, the Mishkan opened on the 8th day. Anything that has to do with 8 is one past the 7 days of creation. The 7 days of creation is kind of the natural world, and then the 8th is one beyond. The most famous, for the males in the room, is the Brit Milah. It's the 8th day because Jewish continuity is nothing short of a miracle. And I think, and those of you who are here at the beginning and have brought this school, Baruch Hashem, to where it is today, recognize that celebrating our 8th year with our first graduating year is nothing short of a miracle. So while we're under the stars, at the same time we're above the stars. We're really experiencing the blessing of Hashem, blessing this community, this school, the students with a tremendous, sustainable, excellent, and affordable way to continue teaching Torah and mitzvahs. And that deserves a l'chaim. So l'chaim for that. Now miracles, we know the Gemara tells us, Ein somchim al hanes. You can't rely on a miracle. Or as they like to say, God helps those that help themselves. Okay? So I like to think of Hashem, and now I know I'm videoed and I'm a rabbi and I'm about to say this in public and I mean no disrespect, but Kaviyachal Lahavdil times a million for the Yankee fans, Mariano Rivera. He comes out and he closes the game. We have to go through 7 innings and set the stage, and then out comes the closer, the Rabbanu Shalom, who doesn't let Am Yisrael down. And he closes the game. He closes the deal, and it usually starts at the 8th inning. But how do you get to the 8th inning? You get there through commitment, you get through partnership, and ultimately leadership. And there are many leaders and many players, so to speak, in that leadership role. But there is one leader who has to deal with a lot of stuff. Okay? There's one leader that has to carry the burden of many, many things, especially, and I'm going to give a direct quote now, "Avol zeh pandemic, ma," right? There. By the way, that's all the Hebrew I picked up in the past 3 years. There is this one individual, and some of you refer to as minahelet, some refer to it as head of school. Inside the school, she's the nervous mom in the office. But ultimately, without a tremendous amount of leadership, and definitely, Andrew spoke about cans of wine, we don't have to get into that, but tremendous amounts of leadership, of strength. And on Erev Shabbat, Sasha was in the office and I gave her a bracha that she should have, she was freaking out. The dinner was Sunday. I said, you should have a restful Shabbat. And Degani comes in and says, where's my bracha? And I said, I'm all out of brachot. But I save a bracha for you and for your husband. That's the other guy that Andrew referenced. In your holy work of excellent, affordable Jewish education, L'Shem Shemayim, for many, many, many years. As the late Rabbi Jonathan Sachs used to say, till 120 in 3 months, you shouldn't die suddenly. So that is my bracha. You should continue in good health. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's, a round of applause. Please rise for our Ganit Ronen.
gonna pay for this. אני באמת מתרגשת. It's just I need a moment to breathe because it's unbelievable. It's really unreal to see everybody here tonight. Dear rabbis, WTA family, friends, and honored guests, Erev Tov, and welcome to Westchester Torah Academy's annual Shomrei Torah celebration. 2020 was a year that gave the whole world pause. A year that made us all stop and wonder how to navigate the space between distance and closeness, between separation and connection. Yet, in its infinite wisdom, our Torah provides us with a mashal, an example to guide us on the path between these two opposite poles. In Sefer Bereshit, HaKadosh Baruch Hu promises Avraham Avinu that his children will be as many and uncountable as the dust of the earth. ושמתי את זרעך כעפר הארץ, אשר אם יוכל איש למנות את עפר הארץ, גם זרעך ימנה. In a similar pasuk, Hashem provides another image of earth, telling Abraham that his children will be multiplied like the sand upon the seashore. כי ברך אברכך והרבה הרבה את זרעך ככל אשר על שפת הים. Then, calling Abraham outside, Hashem shows him the sky above and says, look up, I think we can see them. הבט נא השמיימה וספור הכוכבים, אם תוכל לספור אותם. ויאמר לו, כה יהיו זרעך. Look now towards the sky and count the stars if you are able to number them. And he said to him, so will your children be. What is the meaning of these two grand visions? Why are Abraham's future generations compared to dust and sand on one hand and to stars on the other? In what we educators would call a teachable moment, Hashem is giving Abraham a lesson in leadership. Before accepting a mission, one must have the skills necessary to complete it. Hashem gives Abraham the mission to build the Jewish nation. And by means of these two metaphors, he shows Abraham what he needs to know about the way a healthy society should function. For a community to thrive, there must be a balance in the dynamics between the individual and the group. Hashem shows Abraham the stars because, like stars, individuals need a measure of distance to shine and to be recognized. They need to be far enough apart to see the beauty and strength within themselves and to know what they can offer others in the collaborative work of building a community. By contrast, dust and sand are elements that in their individuality are tiny, insignificant, and sterile. They only take shape and become fertile when they are blended together to form a foundation on which a whole world can be built. As Jewish educators, we too want our children to be both stars and sand. We nurture the personal and spiritual growth of each individual child while connecting them within a close and loving fellowship that celebrates the richness of Torah, Hebrew language, and Eretz Israel. Caring for that community is now an even greater point of focus. For if we have learned anything at all during this year, it's that our choices and actions, large and small, have a profound impact on others. The Kochavim we are honoring tonight have each made an impact on all of us at WTA. And so, we have gathered here תחת כוכבי השמיים to recognize their immeasurable contributions to the life of our school. We wish to honor each one of them for bringing us their love and dedication and for enabling us to reach this milestone in WTA history. Now I need to take off my glasses because I need to find each honoree. To Karen Chubak and Alan Herman. I see Karen. For helping us realize the dream of building our own Bait LaNetzach. Your ability to articulate our school's vision for the future and to create excitement among prospective parents and donors are what got us here today. And we are so grateful for all of your efforts over the years. No. To David Merrill, the angel of WTA. Your generosity, professionalism, and creativity have taken our mission and vision to the next level and beyond. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for bringing us into every new and fascinating area where learning and technology meet. And to Dr. Jennifer Dushan, whose number is literally on my speed dial, and who has spent countless days and nights over this past year evaluating each and every possible health situation. Our friendship began because of Corona, but it grew to be beautiful and real. I want to thank you not only for your wisdom, but also for being a very good friend. Next, it is my tremendous pleasure and pride to introduce tonight's truly special Kochavim, the members of our very first 8th grade graduating class. Please stand up as I call your name. Leah, Eitan, Elisha, Sammy Fox, Moshe, Isaac, Jeffrey, Abby, Matan, Yishai, Elior, Abraham, Sammy Taylor, and Perry. Each one of you embodies the message that Hashem gave to Abraham. Each one of you is a star in your own right. And you have each brought something special to our community. Together as a class, our very first, you have shaped our identity as a school in so many different and meaningful ways. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you for bringing us your remarkable gifts and talents and for helping us create a unified community that is beautiful, powerful, and strong. At this special moment, We want to share how proud and happy we are that each one of you was accepted to attend the high school of your choice. We wish you all hatzlacha rabah on the next phase of your journey. And I ask you to remember the words that were once written over the door of Yeshivat Lublin. Lechu banim, shim'u li, yirat Hashem alamedchem. Go, children, listen to me. Yirat Hashem I will teach you. When Harav HaGaon Rabbi Meir Shapira Milublin, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, was asked, why do you write the word go and not come in above the door? He replied with a message that I wish to give each one of you. We say Lechu banim because now you are leaving the cocoon of our yeshiva family and taking your next steps into the world. Therefore, shim'u li, keep hearing and listening to everything you learned from us and with us. Please keep it with you and carry it wherever you go, and may it serve you well. That is my bracha to you today and always. Before concluding, I want to offer sincere and heartfelt thanks to all of our teachers and leadership team and administrative staff. Who have gone above and beyond the call of duty since the pandemic began. You have been a rock for our students, a steady and comforting presence in their life during the challenging time. And for that, may each one of you be blessed by HaKadosh Baruch Hu many times over. I also want to thank the Board of Trustees for their visionary leadership and support as we steer the ship of our school on its course towards a bright future in our beautiful new Beit LaNetzach. And last but definitely not least, we want to thank the people who made this evening possible. To Lior Holtzman, for her dedication and brilliant creativity, which shine through everything that she does. And to Sasha and Andrew Fox, our fabulous dinner chairs and proud parents of a WTA graduate, for helping to create this beautiful event for all of us to enjoy. It is the commitment of parents like Andrew and Sasha, shared by all of our WTA parents and grandparents, that inspire us on our journey to keep reaching for the stars. We invite you all to join us. Thank you for coming, Erev Tov, and please enjoy the rest of the evening.
So you're in the process of being presented with an enormous amount of food. I just want to let you know one thing and one thing only. We have 200 to-go containers. Exactly. So in the mode of sustainability, please don't waste.
My 11-year-old son woke up this morning with a bit of a stomach ache, so I let him stay home from school. The problem is that if I tell the school he's sick, they'll require him to clear a COVID test before they let him return. So I have to come up with other reasons as to why he's not there. Right now, the principal thinks my son has been kidnapped by ISIS. The good news is he should be released by tomorrow.
Hi everybody, good evening. My name is Michal Pillay. Nice to see everybody. Great to see so many new faces. I'm sorry to get to meet so many new people this year. Great to see the old faces, people from 8 years ago. Thank you to everybody. So as president of WTA and as a parent of 4 and soon to be 3 children, I'd like to, 3 children who are WTA students. I was thinking after I heard Rabbi Avi that I should have asked him to write my speech, but I guess this is going okay. It's because of your support, your trust, and your friendship that we're able to be here in person today. Thank you to our staff and to our leadership team, head by our Menahel Teganit Ronen, and to the WTA Board of Trustees for standing behind them and supporting them. We are now at an amazing point in our journey, realizing our dream of moving into our own home, our Bayit Lanetza, for the upcoming school year, which is really in a few months in September. Our home is being designed with our own personality, our own warmth, and our WTA educational philosophy that we all value so much. Over the years we embraced many challenges through which we gained experience and strengthened our core. But perhaps more important isn't the outcome of those situations, but our approach to those circumstances. At WTA, we constantly reevaluate. We try to think out of the box. We look at others' experiences in these similar circumstances, but we try to be creative and carve our own path, one that works for who we are. And we approach the COVID challenges in a similar fashion. At WTA, I'm sorry, they're very cute. No, leave them, they're just very cute. Our parent volunteers are essential to our success. This year we formed a new committee, our Volunteer Health Committee, to provide the medical assessment to help the leadership make all sorts of decisions this year. Thank you, and please join me in thanking the parents who served on our health committee, Nurse Sharon Halperin, Dr. Michal Manister, and Dr. Cheryl Molina. Your contributions have really been invaluable. Now, there's one person on our health committee who is not a WTA parent, and the truth is, never heard of WTA until this summer, and that's one of our honorees, Dr. Jennifer Duchamp. I've gotten to know Dr. Duchamp through many Zoom meetings and phone calls, and I am extremely appreciative for so many things about her. Dr. Duchamp is not only professionally well-trained and smart and experienced, but she's also kind and sensitive and caring and dedicated. She takes every situation to heart. She weighs all her thoughts before speaking, and she also carefully considers the ramifications of her position. And she supported the leadership team and the health committee 24/7 throughout the year. And I'm hoping that for next year we'll find a different leadership position for you. But that is yet to be told. Everyone please join me in thanking Dr. Duchamp.
When we first went into this, I was really nervous about school being open, and I was glad when the New York City public school system was shut down. People thought it was a little bit late, but I don't think we had all the data until we did. I felt like if we're going to start to reopen things, school should be the first thing to reopen. I mean, there's nothing more important than education. Like, we can wait to party, we can wait to, even to see our families, but a child's education is something that really should be, health and education should be the primary focus of childhood. Diganit and I have a friend in common who is also a physician, and she knew my background in public health and in pediatrics and infectious disease. And she knew that this would be interesting for me. There is like some intellectual interest because again, pandemics don't come along that often. So this was an unfortunate opportunity, but also a really unique opportunity to use my skills. I've never done a school-based intervention at all. Most of the public health that I've done has been in hospitals. So sort of to have the added benefit of being able to deal, first of all, with people who can talk, like most of my babies in the NICU don't, but to deal with children, and to sort of be able to really, to make a difference in a lot of different ways. It's somewhere where we can really make a difference. So you can't, like the decisions that you make in neonatology are somewhat out of your hands. You can't decide when someone is born, but in infectious disease, like the things that you do really can make a difference both in the short term and the long term, and you can make an overall difference really quickly in population-based health. When I'm working with the school, there are so many different levels, right? So they're the teachers, they're the administrators, they're the students, there's the school, which is in itself an individual, like it functions as its own being, and then there's the community and our students' families. I mean, many schools have a sense of community, but because WTA functions both, in a religious manner as well as in an educational manner, and it's also smaller than a lot of the schools. I mean, you guys are really a family in a very, very tight community, and I think it was really interesting to be able to learn like a lot of things that the school valued that I had to take into account in terms of public health, and the values that our families have that also influence public health. Like, to me, it was a wonderful learning experience from my end, and that's something that I'll always take away from this experience. So working with Big and Eat in the health committee, they're really a group of strong, interested, intellectually capable women who really are passionate about education and children's health, and that's really kind of what kept me going. We really worked as a group, and that was a very rewarding experience to be able to work with all of these people that I had never met before. I mean, now most of us will probably be friends forever.
So many of you sent me those beautiful emails this year thanking me for keeping school open, for opening in-person school. But to be honest, it's not me. I don't think I would ever be able to do it without Dr. Jennifer Dushan. She's not only the doctor who is behind the health committee that's really driving the conversation and the decision. She made me feel much more comfortable. The trust and the special relationships that we build helped me a lot to bring all of us to where we are standing here today.
I was really happy that our interventions worked out in the way that they did, that we were able to keep school open, that we were basically able to keep everybody healthy, and they were really able to positively influence the lives of our students and our teachers and their families. To actually be able to be a part of that and to see the success of that has been really, really, really wonderful. I still think we shouldn't be off our guard. As we speak at exactly 12 noon, like an hour and 31 minutes ago, the CDC put out a recommendation saying that certain populations can take off their mask in public. Nope, not gonna happen. So I think that cautious optimism going forward is something that we should focus on until we achieve herd immunity and everybody is vaccinated.
I'm extremely honored. I don't actually recall saying we were all gathered here, but okay. Thank you very much. much. I really appreciate all of you. You've all been wonderful for all of this, and thank you for letting me learn with you.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take
We're
a look.
trying to, can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that. I think if you click the up arrow next to this.
Hey kid, the Zoom meeting in 3rd grade is not working well.
Ask David.
Which David?
David Merrill.
I will. Hey Kim, how are we going to hold virtual tours this year?
Ask David Merrill.
The guy with all those cool ideas?
Yes, he attaches an iPad to a robot and the kid at home navigates it.
Wow, that's amazing. Kim, the sound system is not working well in the 1st grade.
Ask David Merrill.
Do you think he will have a solution?
Of course he will. He has a special speaker and attached to a computer to the TV. It's great. No more cords that break. Nellie, do you have a plan for Yom HaAtzmaut for the middle school?
As a matter of fact, I do. But there is a problem. I want to show them a movie in the gym.
What's the problem? Ask David Merrill.
Do you think he can help with this?
Do I think he can help? He'll set up a giant blow-up screen in no time.
Of course. Who knew that giant inflatable screens even exist? I should have known. Just ask David Merrill. Kim, is there anything he can't do?
No, he can solve any tech problem that comes up. It is with great pleasure that we introduce David Merrill, our WTA technology wizard. David was the second opinion we needed when we were setting up our Wi-Fi system last summer at the JCC of Harrison. The first quote was so expensive that we began to despair. In a serendipitous kind of way, Karen Chubak asked him to come over and assess the problem. In a matter of a few days, our system was in place, and the staff here at the JCC were envious of the quality of our internet service. Thankfully, David stayed. With a keen, discerning eye, he saw multiple ways in which he could be helpful to all of us.
David is a visionary. He asks the right questions, which enable us to make the right decisions. David helps us define each challenge and identify our own needs before he offers a solution. This past year, when we felt frustrated by a technological problem and dreaded the potentially high cost, David always came up with a solution that was both practical and affordable.
David became an honorary member of our faculty early in the school year. He got a desk in the office, a highly coveted real estate location during the pandemic. His desk is actually a mini lab. He's arranged it with hands-on gadgets that appeal to our youngest and our oldest students. With David, we are now developing our future STEAM labs and makerspace.
We fell in love with David's vision and know-how, and he fell in love with WTA's core values. He has volunteered his time, energy, to provide solutions, assistance, and mostly a vision. His dedication, knowledge, enthusiasm, and energy are unique. He is our tech guru, our inspiration, and most of all, a shining bright star who serves as a reminder that even little engines can.
David, we thank you and we love you.
And David, we are ready for our journey together to help and inspire other institutions of Jewish learning.
Hi, David Merrill here. Some of you might recognize me from installing the Wi-Fi in your house or apartment. You know, it's been a challenging year this past year, but also an exciting one. We've been doing a lot of new things here at WTA, such as enhancing our educational technologies. We've been integrating new smartboard alternatives where teachers can log in with fingerprint recognition and the integration of drawing tablets that allow them to really basically enhance the learning inside the classroom. In addition to that, we've also gone ahead and deployed these telepresence robots. We use them for evaluations, we've used them for long-term remote learning, as well as giving tours for prospective parents. We've also enhanced our network infrastructure and Wi-Fi, and we're going to be bringing all these new educational technologies with us into the new building.
One of the things that I've been doing at WTA is looking for new ways that we can enhance and develop our STEAM curriculum. In the future, we see here a STEAM table for our kids, where each kid is going to be able to explore their ideas and creativity. Every table is going to have their own 3D printer, tool set, soldering station, and computer for them to learn and develop skills, life skills that will actually allow them to take what they learn here and use it in everyday practical scenarios. I envision for the future a life skills program that will allow kids to change the P-trap in the plumbing of your house, integrate smart home devices, electric switches. I'm going to teach them how to build network cables, deploy networks, Wi-Fi solutions, build computers, and of course we're going to do 3D printing, and we're going to do robotics as well and programming, but we're going to take it to a whole new level. So it's going to be a very exciting year to come.
David has been such a generous, kind presence since the very moment we arrived here. He was someone who the children just always wanted to talk to and see and wave to and smile at and be smiled at. And it's just, we couldn't have done it without him. He's just been indispensable and great to be around.
Volunteering at WTA the past year has been really an extremely rewarding experience. I've loved every moment of it, and being part of this family has really helped me in so many ways, physically and mentally, emotionally. It's such a special place, which is why when I first got brought in, it was really just to consult on the network. But, you get involved and the environment is intoxicating, that you want to do more and you want to help and you want to be part of this special place. I think one of the things that really synced for me was that the ideology behind the WTA is very similar to an ideology that I believe in, where when we come to a problem, we look at it and we say, okay, let's think differently. Let's think out of the box. And that's something that WTA does. They're very open-minded. They look at institutional thinking and they say, you know what, I think we can do better. I think we can take it to the next level. And they're open about it, and their willingness to try new things and to explore has really been just so refreshing and so rewarding. And I'll tell you, the last 2 years have been pretty difficult. I had an accident about 2 years ago. I was in a wheelchair for about a year. And I'll tell you, I really think that being and volunteering here at WTA has really helped in my recovery. It's sped up my development to be able to walk again. And I really feel, I really credit a lot of it to the WTA family. I guess you would say they reinvigorated me, and I feel so honored, and I really feel so honored to be recognized at this dinner, and I can't thank the Degani and the staff for opening up their doors and welcoming me into this family, and I'm just super, super appreciative.
Thank you.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my wife, Samantha. She has been not only my rock, but she's supported me throughout these last few years, which have been very difficult. She's had the patience of a saint to put up with all these boxes in our den and in her office space throughout the year, which was for WTA initiatives. And basically, Sam, I got rid of most of our boxes. As you can see, they're all here. And I like to also thank my mother-in-law, who with Samantha have been, they have been so instrumental on that grant that we've been submitting for the Life Skills program. Without them, I just don't know how any of it would have been possible. So again, thank you so much.
Mom, tell Daddy. I should tell Daddy.
I think the video says it all, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This is very amazing. Thank you so much.
Hi. Just this. So your total is $2.98. Would you like to donate your 2 cents change to help starving blind children in Africa who are running for their lives and all they want is a place to sleep at night? No, thank you. Okay. Would you like a bag for 20 cents? Yes, I would. Thank you.
So I definitely cannot match the humor of everyone who came before me, so I'm not going to try. Bilavi Mishkan Evne Lehadar Kavodo. This poem, written by the Sefer Haredim, speaks about building a place in our heart for Hashem. But I think also about building a place for Hashem with all of our hearts. 2 individuals that we are here to honor tonight, Aaron Herman and Karen Chubak, are definitely 2 people who have put their full hearts into building our Bayit L'Netzach, WTA's home. Karen first got involved in spring of 2018 at a time the committee was working on getting planning board approval for the new campus, and she kindly offered her architectural services. She was roped in to work on architectural plans for the carriage house. Well, no good deed goes unpunished. Little did she know what this favor would snowball into. Karen is unique in that she's incredibly talented architecturally, but she's also willing and able to step into any role, anywhere, big or small, at a moment's notice. No task is beneath her or too big for her. Karen, working with you day in and day out has been a privilege, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to be here to recognize your dedication. It was January 2019. We were about to break ground, and we were at a very critical point in the building process funds-wise. We had a great team of parent volunteers raising money for the project. We had toyed with the idea of hiring a professional fundraiser to help us get further. Karen had begun to get involved in the fundraising end of the project, as she could not see a task that needed to get done and not jump in. and she pointed out that we had a parent at our school who is a professional. Aaron Herman was one of the early founders of the school. I believe he even hosted one of the first parlor meetings at his home even before he had school-age children. He has believed in the school's mission and has been there cheering the school on since. I remember shortly after the property, 150 Stratton Road, was bought. In 2016, we ran a tour for the parent body. There was a man in the crowd with a GoPro on his head videoing the whole event. It was Aaron, filled with positive energy and fresh ideas. That professional talent and energy is what he has brought to his role as co-chair of the Capital Campaign. He has really breathed new life into our campaign and has helped sustain and grow it until today. Without all the heart, the lave that you two have put into this task, there's no way that we would be where we are today. I want you all to join me in thanking Karen and Aaron.
I've read all the articles about the tuition crisis, and a famous sage once said, I don't need more problems, I need a solution. That was David Merrill. And both of us care so deeply for WTA, and we're truly honored to be chosen for this volunteer award. And we're just so proud to be part of the community, and we've seen WTA grow so much, even during this year.
Yeah, no, and I would say during this year, growth is not easy, but if you think about WTA starting out as 60 students, and now we have 198, we have a graduating class, we have kids going to high school. You were there at the beginning.
Yeah, it's funny. I got involved when the founding team came together, and I loved the concept of affordable Jewish education. I didn't have any children at the time, but I knew eventually I would have a family, and I was concerned about affording Jewish education. And thank God there's a place like WTA that is so amazing.
I have to say, I've been really passionate about WTA. Our family, we moved to Westchester in part for WTA, and it sort of ties into how I was brought up. And I grew up in France, and education is different there, and Jewish education is in part paid for by the state. And coming to the U.S. was a real question of how we were going to approach this issue. And the beauty is I've gotten to know WTA more through this process. And I always felt that way as an architect. You get to meet amazing people when you work on a project, and you get to learn more about interesting things. And for me, that's really been what this has been about.
When we did that walkthrough to our new home, and the way that we've always phrased it is we're building this movement, and it really is something that is already transforming Jewish education. But seeing this idea and then coming to life, seeing those walls come together, and then the doors going on,
right?
It's amazing.
When we started this out, our kids were in kindergarten, and you know a bit about what they're doing in school, but you don't know so much. They tell you what they ate for lunch and not much else.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. But speaking to teachers about what they want the building to do or how the building can meet their needs, and speaking to outside people, outside foundations about the wonderful things that are happening in our school, sitting in those meetings with people, I've learned about the school. And yes, I've been passionate about it from day one, but educationally, I've been able to learn so much about the school through the process, and sort of reinforced my passion and excitement about the school, because we are doing amazing things here. These kids that are standing in front of you, that are going out into the world to high school, they're amazing kids.
And these graduates are going to go out into different communities, different schools, and they're going to bring our love and our values into that, and that will trickle down for years to come.
Ezra's in second grade, and he asked me, Mommy, does WTA need money? And I thought that was kind of a strange question, but I said, well, actually, yes, because we're building a building. And he explained to me all excitedly that second grade gets the important role of counting up the school's tzedakah money. And we discussed that how the school had decided as a whole that this year they wanted to donate their tzedakah money to the building. And they were so proud of their $126 and what could we do with that. I see that as a moment where my kids understand what's happening, they understand the process, and they really are living the values that are so important to our school.
When Karen and I went to the new building, she was showing me the all-purpose room. And Michael loves to sing, and he sings from the heart. And I had this vision of him singing, during TechS, during one of the plays that WTA does, and it's such a warm place. There's that heart, there's that connection. It's really a family affair as well. My aunt Nurit is a teacher at WTA, and she's just incredible. And I'm hoping that my younger child Ari will be able to go to early childhood and experience the same magic that WTA offers for all of its students.
I've also felt inspired by all the people we work with, because I can't stress it enough. This building, it was born out of the effort of so many parents through the years who've worked on this project. And I'm not going to name names because they've chosen not to sit in these seats. But they're the people who are juggling 4 kids, and you ask them to drop off a set of drawings at the building department, they do it. And I'd be amiss not to mention our staff and administration, who as soon as we bring up an idea to them, no matter how crazy short timeline it is, we need this by tomorrow, they jump on it. They don't ask why, how, I don't know. No one ever says no. They always say, how can we do this? And I feel like it's that spirit of how can we approach this differently, how can we solve this problem, that really permeates our school and is inspiring our children in the way that they approach problems in life.
I love that more and more people are coming to WTA because it's a good school. My mom built a little bit of the building, and she designs a little bit of the building and a little bit of the carriage house. Thank you for building the building and designing it. My dad helped WTA raise for the new building. Otherwise, WTA wouldn't have that much money.
It sort of drives you because you know that we're almost there. By doing this, we're really going to change the face of our community, and that's what sort of drives me to be part of this project and knowing that we are making a difference.
How many people can you affect by what you do? You build a building, people walk by it, people see it every day. Like, how many lives can you change? And really, what we're doing, if you think about the scales that WTA is affecting, there's New Rochelle, there's these kids who are standing in front of us, but then there's all the communities that look at our model and learn from it and maybe implement something similar. And it's sort of, when you think about the possibilities, are endless of where this could go.
Mother told Daddy! Mother told Mommy!
Wow, Karen, so we're here, and thank God not on Zoom. I think everyone's kind of Zoomiversed out.
Well, I see that you've taken the occasion parking lot chic.
That's right.
Not on Zoom anymore.
Exactly.
Something, I'm not quite sure what to call it.
That's right. Gotta own the room, right?
It is really incredible to be here. To all be here in person together, to celebrate everything that we've mentioned, but especially our 8th grade class. We often talk about WTA starting as 60 students, and to see a handful of those students who were 1st graders at the time and now are 8th graders, joined by others along the way, we're so proud to send them out into the world, to the schools that they've chosen, and to really share with the world the wonderful values and the love of learning that they've learned at WTA.
I think I would say growing a school is not easy, and we won't take credit for a lot of it. We do some things, but a lot of people here make this happen. WTA is an incredible, incredible leadership team. Digani, your team, I won't name them because, you know, I can't name everyone, but really, it's incredible the dedication that you have towards our kids day in and day out, and then beyond those days in and days out, in the evenings and who knows what hours, the whole staff supports us. We have an idea, they're behind us, and they think of ways to make it better. And I want to say thank you to the people who put this wonderful evening together. Planning an evening during a regular year is not easy. Planning an evening during COVID is beyond not something I'd want to take on. And it just speaks to WTA's incredible community of volunteer parents. We're two standing here. There are so many who are not standing here who handed us the torches. And when we stepped into the Capital campaign about 2.5 years ago, Zach was little, we were taking it from those who really had incredible vision and guts to go and start this. And I want to thank personally my family, Jeff, and the kids, Ezra, Kayla, and Zachy, for letting me do this in the times that, you know, I could be doing other things with you guys. I want to thank my parents and Jeff's parents who are here tonight and have supported this passion since the beginning. You've probably heard about WTA a little bit too much.
Yeah, it's kind of like a surreal moment. You know, as you heard in the video, I got involved pretty early. My wife Tani introduced me to WTA, and seeing this 8th grade class, it's amazing to see where we've come. You know, I like to say we were a startup, now we're in scale-up mode, and there's incredible administration and parents and volunteers that are making a huge difference in this initiative. And I'd like to also thank Tani for her support. My parents, my nerd is a teacher here, and she's incredible. So thank you for coming. And to Michael, and God willing, Ari will be able to come when he's ready. But as you know, fundraising is complicated. And I want to thank all the people who have already committed to the Capital campaign. And if you haven't had a chance to donate, please consider getting us to our goal. We are almost there. And we'll have pledge cards that we'll be giving around. So if you can just take a minute, if you are able to, if you haven't and are able to, please consider getting us the next step in our dream to come into our new home. And thank you all again for everything. We are truly honored to be part of this community.
We are the first graduates of WTA.
We haven't all been here from the start.
But there is something that lives inside all of us.
Ahavat Torah means discovering what learning means to me.
Ahavat Torah is being taught in different and unique ways.
It meant celebrating when I became the first WTA Bar Mitzvah boy.
It means having the opportunity to grow spiritually.
For me, it's creating a good connection with my rabbis and teachers.
For me, it means discovering the inner meaning of the text.
Commitment to best self means stepping out of your comfort zone.
It means doing my best to stay motivated.
Encouraging each other.
For me, it means staying open-minded and trying something new.
For me, it meant becoming a better person.
Commitment to best self means investing in your future.
Being honest with myself, and working hard to be better.
To me, joyful mindset means staying positive even in tough situations.
Taking and learning from the experience, not just the outcome.
For me, it's when we get to celebrate together. It means having the opportunity to do something I enjoy.
It means not giving up.
For me, it meant trying my hardest to succeed.
It means being part of something bigger than myself.
Anava means I'm an individual.
Anava means giving back and doing chesed.
It means respecting everyone around me.
Anava means trusting that my friends won't judge me and that they're always willing to help.
Finding the balance between self-confidence and humility.
Anava means creating a safe space.
And my teachers are approachable and make me feel like I have something to bring to the table.
Anava means figuring out what you can give rather than what you can get.
These values will guide us as we go our separate ways.
But they will forever be an invisible connection to the community that got us here, our WTA family.
Okay, hopefully you're eating your dessert. Yeah, glasses again, sorry. To close out the evening, I want to give a big shout out to Deganate, Leora, Z, for everything they do for the school. You guys are a real treasure. And to our honorees, and of course, thank you David Merrill for all your tech support this evening. And I want to thank Eric and Henry from the JCC of Harrison for their help and for letting us celebrate on their festive parking lot. Woohoo! Thank you to our band tonight, and Maura Craig and Maura Dave. And thank you to our parent volunteers. And as always, to our security staff, Matt, Matthew. And tonight is Jay. And don't forget there are to-go boxes for you to take food home. Don't waste. Anyway, have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Woo-hoo!